Brisbane Wakes Up with Stav, Abby and Matt on B105.
Season 12 of Below Deck is now streaming on Hey You the same day as the US as well. And in the studio with us, we have Captain Kerry. Good morning.
G'day, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, we're good,
Did
mate.
you just
Very good.
sit up straight when
Yeah,
you
the
said
captain's
captain?
here.
The captain is here.
What? The boss is here.
But these people love this show, and I think it's a good mix of watching rich people and being envious of them, and then it's a real upstairs downstairs situation, isn't it? Because then
Yes.
you're watching the crew and all the shenanigans that they get up to, which is equally entertaining.
Yeah, I actually enjoy watching the shenanigans of the guests as well. You kind of see the class system goes a little haywire from time to time.
Oh, yeah. But you can tell, look, they might be higher in class because they have money, but they can get more feral than the people below deck, I imagine.
I think that's what the viewers most look forward to seeing.
Yeah, just embarrass themselves. Do they have to pay for the actual trip? They do.
Yes. So they're everything's real. Like
Right.
they're real paying passengers, real crew. And we got someone running around with this big eye chasing us around and
real
catching us get
hookups.
up to no good, you know? Yeah.
Before it was a TV show, would you normally sign non-disclosure agreements about what your guests get up to on those sort of trips, or you don't tend to have to worry about it?
Well, good question. A lot of it goes without saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we don't, and that's what was very different at the show when it first came out. It got a lot of backlash in our industry, is because we don't talk about what happens with the guests, right? That we keep that. I mean, we do. But,
Between each other.
we do, of course we do, but not in the way that the show shows it. So that's what was so revealing when the show first came out, and for those who are just getting into it, you know, I always see Below Deck as like the gateway drug into reality TV.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we spoke to someone who was working on James Packer's boat, and he was working with Mariah Carey. Did you used to, I guess before the show, have any celebrities that used to come on board?
Yeah. The thing is that, you know, the celebrities aren't the real rich people. You know, it's the people you've never heard of.
Yeah, right.
So,
Like the big businessmen or women.
yeah.
Sort of
I remember
thing.
actually on one charter we were in Venice, and we had Naomi Campbell on the boat,
Yep.
and we just fooled around like, "Oh, look at Naomi's got a phone, guys. She's got a phone. You better run." You know. Remember she incidents just throwing phones at people.
Yeah.
You know, I work for the Ford family. Henry Ford's great granddaughter,
wow.
Right, okay.
and you know, the old money you wouldn't even know.
Because they're a little bit more humble
Just
than
so
the up and
humble,
coming people.
so chilled, so appreciative.
Yeah.
Just not the kind of guests that make Below Deck so much fun.
God, he'd be rolling in his grave that his granddaughter's into boats, not cars.
Yeah. Well, I think the Fords did have a yacht, but a few of the family members do still have yachts. So yeah.
In this season, I believe, and I don't know if it hasn't been on yet, you've got to call. You wouldn't call the police. Is it?
Oh yeah.
What do you call them? Just the guard?
Yeah, no. Well, the maritime police is what I was trying to get hold of.
Is that the first time you've ever had to call?
Normally,
police?
I'm trying to send the police away. Not trying to get them.
Don't draw attention to. All right. So you can't give too much information.
No, so the setting was we were on the French side of St. Martin.
Yeah.
And we had a guest get pretty unruly. And
You just don't push them overboard? No?
well, that was a concern, right? Is you know, I was worried that she would, you know, do something to herself.
Yeah.
And you know, I really tried to manage it in house, but there's only so much I can do. And when someone's in that state, you'll actually see in the preview. If you watch the preview closely, you can see her eyes in the back of my head, and she just wants to rip my eyes out. You know what I mean? So at that
You
point,
can't keel haul them these days, can you?
well, only if someone finds out.
So do you speak French to be able to?
No, so Fraser speaks French fluently.
Yeah.
So it was actually funny because they've got an Aussie speaking to a British guy who's speaking to a French guy.
About walking into a bar.
You know, it was like he's like, how do I translate bugger into French?
Right. It's like you said, so it shows the people who go on the yachts because they've got the money, and then they've got the people who are working on the yachts as well. And it's quite there's a lot of relationships that happen below deck too, isn't there? As the captain, how much relationship juggling do you do when you find out XYZ's with that person, and then do you have to pull them aside and be like, oi, You know they've got a
bit of
boyfriend.
like, want to be a bit of a mushroom, right?
Yeah.
Kept in the dark,
Kept in the
and fed,
dark.
you know,
Yeah.
bullshit all day. So, no, so, you know, look, I was crew once, so I had relationships.
Yeah.
And big thing is, you know, I can't stop something happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just, you know, as long as it doesn't affect the rest of the crew. And, you know, the biggest part for me is, you know, I'm a big advocate for mental health. So, you know, when I start seeing someone going down a certain direction, then I want to make sure they're doing all right. That's, you know, having a breakup with someone's hard, and
Yeah.
having to live and work in the same space as them
God, yeah.
is even more challenging.
Yeah.
Because it is a weird industry in the sense that you're away for a long time and then you're sort of back. So it's hard to keep relationships when.
Yeah, well,
Back
I
on
mean,
the
I'm
mainland, so to
divorced, so I
speak.
guess that's a fact.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but I just know that there has been.
I can't argue with you, can I?
Yeah.
Statistically, you're
Thanks,
right.
love. Champion.
Well, I guess it's hard to maintain the relationship. So a lot of them will have relationships on board. And my friend does go over once a year, and she was saying that her captain then started a relationship with someone on the crew, and it was a situation of he was seeing someone, you know, that was on a different boat. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and then it was
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, now I've got to sort out my crew of who's actually getting along well
Yeah.
and sending other people to a different one.
So it's, you know, it's the old saying, you know, don't crap on your own nest. So go to the boat next door.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, they're always rocking.
but yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, right? You don't know when to knock. So, but no, there's a lot of things happen. Like for me, I don't think, you know, boating was the end of my relationship. It was just where my headspace was at the time. You know, I didn't see the warning bells, and then my missus decided to go to the next boat, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But no, there's a lot going on, right? Like you work hard, you play hard, you form relationships in the most unlikely scenarios. Like I've seen my crew get together.
Yeah.
You know, even like last season when Barbie and Kyle got together, I'm like, these two aren't meant for each other.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, this is just the boatmates.
Yeah.
That's how this unwinds, right? So yeah.
Speaking of relationships, can I ask a question we need cleared up? You're a captain of a boat.
Oh, you're not going to ask it, are you? I know you are.
100%. I'm going to ask it.
He's not going to. He hasn't done one.
Are
before.
you allowed to marry people when you're at sea? As the
Yeah,
captain?
if you watched last season, I did that.
She
Yes.
has never believed that.
Because
Yes.
I'm a
Is
it
celebrant,
legal,
he
though?
always says, yeah. Well, but wasn't it done for, like, back in the day, it started for, like, if it was war or something like that?
It's like a history lesson. We're doing that, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'll make something up.
No, don't
So,
do that.
You'll fit right in here.
but it
Have
makes
been
sense,
in radio
right?
before.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I mean, you think
You were on
about it.
boats
You're
for
going
ages.
from crossing the Atlantic,
Yeah.
you know, taking a long period of time. And, you know, we had to be well behaved before we got in a relationship with somebody. So it makes sense the captain could marry two people off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, officially.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when I shot the shot Grenada, I actually went out and got myself my settlement license the night before.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple there that tried to get married, and there was COVID and other things got in the way, and it never
Yeah.
actually happened. So we did the whole ceremony, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't real, is it?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
If you live in Florida, it is.
What's your best? Oh, so you go.
No, I was going to ask, at the end of the trip, all the crew gets a tip, right? And that gets split between everyone. Is it true that sometimes it can be like $25,000, the proper rich people? What's the biggest tip that you've had over your career?
So we had episode 2 just on. Our first charter, it was Mr. Reddish. He gave us $30K.
Wow.
And that's the biggest you've ever seen?
Oh no, I've seen bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on the TV show. That's a pretty good tip.
Yeah.
yeah. So it just depends on the boat you're on. It's really, you're on an 80-meter yacht.
Yeah.
You know, the tip could be over $100K for the
Wow.
crew, but you got 25 crew, so it's all relative.
So that's on top of their usual wage, right?
Usual wage, yeah, and you're paid well. But when I was crew, one of the biggest tips I got as a crew member, I think it was $6,000
Right.
Personally to you.
PME. So I got $6,000. They gave us a Tag Heuer watch.
Wow.
They got all the girls Louis Vuitton handbags.
Yeah, right.
And that's for a week's work plus my wage.
Yeah.
I think
I
back
get
then.
seasickness, but I'm applying.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
You got a bag of
yeah.
vomit in at least.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, so we're all paid very well.
Yeah.
But then the
And-
high,
I mean,
high
it's-
standard of service then comes with that, surely.
Well, that, nothing's free.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Townsville and I was doing the parasailing during the day. I was working ferries at night time, And then overnight, I was working for free on a landing barge to get my hours up. And I just love to work. And I'm like, man, if I could work all day and keep making money, I will. Well, I found my industry.
Yeah, of course.
It's, you know, we've really had to sharpen up the hours of rest
Yeah,
that we
it's
do.
long days.
But typically, it's 18, 20-hour days is realistically.
Yeah,
so,
you can't really go, all right, I'm off now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
just,
done.
hide here.
Yeah, we used to have power naps is how
Yeah.
we would do it. Now we've got to be more structured and, you know, the current generation aren't as resilient.
Yeah.
But I think that's what our parents said as well.
Yeah, that's so true.
Good point.
What's your favourite destination that you've sailed in?
Well, Australia, of course.
Yep.
So in Australia would be I love the Whitsundays. I've worked there, but I love the remoteness of Cape York, you know, up that way, TI, Thursday Island, so forth. Americas would be Turks and Caicos, the Caribbean. It's a very the island is it's not a poor island. So some of these a lot of these Caribbean islands have like shanty places, and you feel a little guilty having fun. I do anyway. And then Europe would be Dubrovnik in Croatia.
Yeah, everyone says
Yeah,
that.
this is great.
It's like a big
Amazing.
castle there.
Right.
Yeah.
And my newfound love is Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey, yeah. It's amazing.
Okay.
Incredible country. Beautiful people.
Yeah.
Amazing food. Great history. My girlfriend's Turkish, and I like to play with her because the modern Turkish Republic's only 100 years old.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I'm a young country, you know, Australia, we're double that.
It's true.
Have you ever come across pirates in your time? If you're carrying people with lots of wealth and money.
Yeah, I've done. So we did a delivery from Genoa, Italy, to the Seychelles, where Down Under was filmed last.
Yeah.
And running through the Gulf of Aden, we definitely had some issues with piracy around us.
Wow.
What was most scary about it was we were supposed to meet a military convoy to escort us through the straits, through the Gulf of Aden, and we got delayed due to bad weather. So then we're like, all right, well, if you stay in this corridor, we'll be safe. But then we're so far behind time, the captain said we can't stay in the corridor. So we turned all the lights off, ran at night time as fast as we could
Wow.
to Oman.
Wow.
Yeah, and on the radio you could hear people being attacked, people calling for help.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was, and then we had our own scare. We had a boat in front of us, and we would hold a course. He would hold a course. It kept happening. So the security detail got ready. We all ran to the safe room.
Wow.
And it was just a bunch of fishermen that thought we were running over their nets.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
So where's the safe room?
So on that vessel, we designated the engine room because we had these big hydraulic doors, and the captain, he was Scottish. So the deal was we'd all go to the safe room, and then once everything was good, he would come down and give us a password to allow him in. And we had to pick a good Scottish password.
Oh God, what was it?
But where the pirates wouldn't know it, and it was haggis.
Yeah, great.
They're not going to make that one up.
Well, you can check it out, season 12 of Below Deck. It's now streaming on Hey You the same day in the US, and the episodes drop on Tuesdays. Captain Kerry, good to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, and I love your view.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
nice,
you.
isn't it?
Caitlin, did we do it justice? Do you have any more questions?
Caitlin's a super fan.
I am a super fan. I wanted to know.
Hang on, you're going to ask.
Yeah, you're going to ask them, mate.
I
Yeah.
wasn't getting any feedback when I was talking towards the end, so I hope it was recording.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on your first impressions of Stab Abby Matt, what job would you give them on the boat?
Oh, you're kidding me.
It's not a good impression by that reaction, is it?
Boy, no, I don't know. I would put you as the engineer.
Okay.
You seem very technical.
Thank you.
It's the glasses.
Yeah. If I had a cruise director, that'd be you.
What do they do?
Yeah, not a lot. And of course, over here, the hostess or the mostess.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
I think you've nailed it.
Cruise director, mate, they're the person who makes sure everyone's having fun. So,
There you go.
Sweet.
it's
There we
great.
go.
Yeah,
Let's get on the piss.
Stab Abby and Matt for breakfast. B105.